Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we examine news, headlines, comments, articles, questions, ideas, suggestions we may have, things that are going on in our city, in our state, in our country, and things that can help us have a better life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. Today is Thursday, May 6th. And allergies, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling all sniffly and congested. So if anybody out there is also having itchy eyes and things like that, please let me know so I can commiserate with you. Today, we have all kinds of interesting news. Today, we have the most mindless, useless survey we've ever had. And we're going to go on with our news, which have to do with, of course, vaccines and with Vice President Kamala Harris, live music, cemeteries, airports, sea lions. There's a little bit of everything today. So we will dive right through the news, and then we'll get chatty at the end of the program, as always. If this is your first time visiting, feel free to let us know by writing the word new in your comment. And if you have anything that is particularly important to share during the broadcast, please let us know by adding the letter Q at the beginning of your comment or question. So I think that sets us up to get our news started. So, oh my goodness, I haven't even started my little controlling program that allows me to push a button so that we can go directly to the news. And it is almost on, and it is almost on. And here we go. Boom. We started with teacher vaccination. With the teacher vaccination campaign over, state authorities announced that they managed to vaccinate 98% of teachers and school workers in our state here in Jalisco. This is wonderful. And of course, this is all in preparation for a May 17 school reopening. Now, we've mentioned before, this does not mean that classes will resume on May 17. School in Jalisco will resume in August, but teachers and school workers will be available starting on the 17th to orient parents and advise them on their children's education, answer questions that parents and students may have, and allow parents to enroll their children for the following school year. We have news that have to do with vaccines. Of course, Health Undersecretary Hugo Lopez-Gatell announced that close to 20 million vaccines, or to be precise, 19,951,121 vaccines have been applied in Mexico to date among seniors, health, and school workers. As far as doctors in the private sector are concerned, as opposed to doctors in the public sector, Hugo Lopez-Gatell clarified that there is no distinction as long as they are working on the first line of defense against COVID-19. I also wanted to let you know that United States Vice President Kamala Harris is scheduled to visit Mexico and Guatemala on June 7th and 8th, right after our intermediate elections. This will be the Vice President's first international trip. She is expected to focus on migration, given the increasing number of individuals from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador with intentions to head north to the United States. Prior to this first trip, Vice President Harris is also scheduled to have a virtual conference with Mexico President Andrés Manuel López Obrador tomorrow, sometime during the day. Friday, what a great day to have a meeting with a vice president. I'd like to try that someday. Let us turn on to the weather, which I haven't even turned on. What's the matter with me? It's these allergies, but let's go to the weather. Oh my goodness. Snarky Weather asks, were you aware you have an untreatable illness? And I have no idea what that is in reference to. So if anybody does, feel free to enlighten us. It is 27 degrees right now, feels like 28. Humidity is higher than yesterday. It's up at 63%. And our temperature in Fahrenheit is 80 degrees. Boom, beating, bum, boom, bum, boom. The weather forecast for today calls for a partly cloudy day. Our high temperature will be 30. Our low temperature will be 21. Tomorrow, partly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 22. Saturday, humid through the day, high temperature of 31, low temperature of 22. No 32s in the high temperature yet, but as we noted yesterday, our nighttime temperature is starting to not be as cool as it used to be. So soon enough, we're going to be enjoying all those lovely humidity abundant days that we love so much. Not. Let's see, what do we have next? Oh yes, stupid survey. I learned something new and useless yesterday. Frequently, when we are doing coffee and headlines, and it's a Wednesday, you will say something along the lines of hump day this and hump day that, and Wednesday is hump day. We've talked about it a number of times. Well, every now and then I am in the habit of asking my speaker, you know her name starts with an A. I will ask her, what time is it, during the day, because I'll be busy like doing other things. And she always answers with the time, and then she makes a nice comment. It'll be something like, I hope you have a lovely day, or I hope you have a lovely weekend, or whatever. And yesterday, she said, I hope you're enjoying the belly button of the week. El ombligo de la semana. And I thought to myself, I never heard about that. I never knew that Wednesday in Spanish is considered to be the belly button of the week. And then I started thinking, well, wait a second. Belly buttons are innies for the most part, or not. And how weird that in English it's called a hump day, which is kind of like an outie, and in Spanish it's called an ombligo, which is an innie. But then I thought to myself, well, maybe there are more outies than I thought. And of course, not that it's any of my business, but the question, the totally mindless, useless question of the day is, your belly button is an innie or an outie? And just because we love to be inclusive here at Coffee and Headlines, you can also answer, sorry, can't remember, or you can also even answer, I don't have one. So if you don't have an innie or an outie, if you don't have a belly button at all, by all means, feel free to let us know. And we will come back to the results of this totally mindless survey in a little while. First, let us take a look at more leisurely headlines that I have for you. This one has to do with cemeteries and Mother's Day. We have been talking about this at least once or twice. We now have more news regarding cemeteries and Mother's Day. No vendors will be allowed to work or set up stands outside local cemeteries. And this, of course, will affect food and flower vendors and live musicians. Those hoping to visit their loved ones on that day will only be allowed to enter the cemeteries in groups of 5, maximum 5 people, and won't be able to spend more than 1 hour inside. No food, no beverages, or music of any kind will be allowed inside the cemeteries, which will be open on Mother's Day at 8 o'clock in the morning and will close at 6 p.m. in the evening. I have news from the airport. This month, Puerto Vallarta's International Airport is expected to welcome a total of 1,474 flights, or an average of 47 daily flights. That's a shitload of flights from 14 different airlines. This is according, of course, to information provided by Grupo Aeroportuario del Pacífico, the company in charge of administering our airport. Of course, this number is not counting the fact that a Chinese rocket went out of control a couple of days ago and is expected to enter Earth's atmosphere sometime during the weekend and land at a yet-to-be-figured-out location. And boy, would that be an awkward entrance to Puerto Vallarta, wouldn't it? No, seriously, there is a rocket, the rocket that brought the new Chinese space station to space. On re-entry, they kind of lost control of the bird, and the bird is flying on its own, and nobody seems to know where it's going to land. So maybe we should all be walking around with our umbrellas or our giant hats over the weekend just in case. I'm being totally facetious. Don't let that keep you awake at night. A sea lion was reported dead at a local beach, and he was not dead at all. Maybe he went partying the night before and he was just chilling. The report came from the Grand Park Royal Hotel in the South Shore, where biologists showed up to confirm that the massive animal was just sunbathing. And why not? You know, it's a pretty beach down there. So authorities quickly cordoned off the area where the sea lion set shop to prevent tourists from disturbing him. So no Pacifico beer for this beautiful animal. He's just going to chill until he sees it suitable to be able to continue on his journey wherever he's going. And let's see, as reported a couple of weeks ago, the Jalisco Philharmonic Orchestra resumes live performances with an audience present tonight in Guadalajara. This makes me so happy. The concerts are going to take place at the outdoor courtyard of the Cabañas Museum. And Isidoro Ramos, administrator for the orchestra, announced that this short series of live performances will pave the way for the orchestra's eventual return to a regular season. The performances will take place today, on the 13th, and on the 20th. They are all Thursdays with a maximum audience of 180 people. Again, these are outdoor performances at a courtyard of a beautiful museum in downtown Guadalajara. I wish I was there, or rather, I hope to be there in the near future once more live concerts are scheduled next month, or maybe the month after. And, oh my God, the allergies. Last but not least, once again, the New York Times gifts us with another music article. This time, it's 5 classical albums to hear right now, featuring music by Bach, Beethoven, Stockhausen, and other composers. And with this, we wrap our news section. We get into chit-chat mode, but not before finding out that, oh wow, 95% of you have an innie, 3% of you, or 2 of you actually, have an outie, and 1 of you can't remember. See, I can't remember either. I have lower back problems, so I can't look that deep down there. So I have no idea what I have. Anyhow, let me rewind your comment tape and take a look at who's joining us today. As always, it's a pleasure to just chit-chat and hang out. I see all kinds of dear friends. Carol is chiming in from Oregon. Kate drops a beautiful remark. Thank you very much, Kate. I appreciate that very much. Let's see. Somebody said, relax a little, Luna. Well, yeah, she's... Did not mean to push that button. I meant to push the LunaCam button. And there she is, relaxing a little bit. Mihal is feeling itchy eyes, thinks it's the smoke. Thank you very much. Kate says sneezing is big in our home. See, I knew you would make me feel better. Thank you so very much, Cluster. Um, let's see what else we have. Allergies are real pain in the nose. Absolutely. Let's see. Ramona Horty says, I don't see the survey. I forget if this, my bad. I forget if the survey shows up on the on the computer, but not on portable devices or vice versa. I do know that sometimes the survey doesn't show in certain devices, and that unfortunately is not something I can control. Uh, do I think it's because your belly button is in the middle of your body, like Wednesday is the middle of the week? Maybe I didn't even think about it in those terms, Marcus. I quickly jumped to the innie or the outie part of it, but you could be totally right. A hungover sea lion, quite probably. Why not? And yes, he looks to be beautiful. Had I been at that hotel, I would have loved to get close, but of course, this is not a good idea. Um, let's see what else we have. I think I've reached the end of your remarks. I don't know if there's anything else that's on your mind that you wish to chat about. I don't know that I have much more to contribute to this, although I will say that yesterday I, and maybe that's why I'm feeling all congested. Yesterday I had a good time to laugh with some friends, and maybe that's the reason why I'm congested. When should one use usted versus tú, and when should you switch from usted to tú? Well, first of all, I want to make sure that you understand the difference. In Spanish, in English, when you refer to someone, you must join me. You say you must join me, and when you're referring to that person, you use the word you. In Spanish, we have two flavors of the word you. We have tú for a more casual acquaintance, and usted for a more formal acquaintance or a person of a certain age. Like here in Puerto Vallarta, for example, my experience has been or had been that just about everybody, if you're out and about at the market, everybody uses the word tú, which is informal. And I did become aware of the fact that at a certain age, people started referring to me as usted, and it used to piss me off because it was a clear indication that I was getting older. Now, I'm kind of used to it. So the bottom line, Mushi, is you use tú when you know the people, and when you don't, you use usted. If I don't know someone, but I want to get close to someone, I will ask, nos podemos tutear, which means, can we be casual with one another? And that is a nice, polite way to try to get closer to someone you don't know. Um, and I hope I answered the question. Let's see what else. Lorraine says, usted is formal, like talking to a police officer. Yeah, you would not want to talk to a police officer and start using tú instead of usted, because that'll bruise their ego and they will get nasty. Let's see. Albert says, my survey popped up on my phone. Thank you very much. Gayoff laughs and says casual. Classes de español paying off. Excellent. I'm glad this is working out. When in doubt with the tú and the usted, I mean, you can always go with tú unless you are at a really swanky party, or you're meeting the consul, or you're at the bank and things like that. But for the most part, where are you going, Luna? No? Where are you going? We're not done here. Oh, you're just prancing. Okay, fine. And that's the way that goes. That's the way the tú versus the usted. You can also be flirtatious with usted if you're trying to pretend that you're coy and you're trying to flirt with someone. You might also say, "Ay, usted es muy lindo," or "Usted es muy linda," and that is a way to be respectful, but to err on the more respectful side rather than being too familiar with someone you don't know. Uh, Norma, who is my cousin, who is Luna's former mother, is watching her daughter from Chicago. I love it. I love it. Anyhow, I think this is what we have for today. This is our Thursday broadcast. Again, I'm hoping to go out there today with my camera and do some missions for next week. And I am hoping to get together with dear friends for dinner and lunch today. If I can stop sniffling. So, this was our broadcast for today. I hope you learned something new and interesting. I hope you had a good time. And hopefully, I'll get together with you sometime in the near future. Between now and then, stay happy, stay kind, stay asking questions, and stay learning more about our surroundings. Have an awesome day.